So you're at the stage of just collecting data to submit the grant information, or the grant has been submitted?
Some of the grant application has been submitted, but it's an ongoing process.
Right.
We're working on getting the hard numbers in order for them to apply for the final. But we have to make sure we have it correct, because we can only apply for it one time. We want to make sure we have it right.
And when's the deadline for the final?
You know what that is, Jim?
It's Terry Jones. Terry's
You want
usually
me to
here.
tell the truth, you want me to lie?
No, when you tell the
It all depends on the next town council. Because this town council is basically doing the preliminary work for it. Then the elected town council in 2016 will make all the final calls. So without this preliminary work being done, then if the new group would have to wait until probably 17 to do something for the preliminary and the obligation of it, because the new town council is gonna have to see this paper and finance and everything. And we've taken care of the preliminary studies.
So really, it's still in the beginning stages.
Pardon?
It's still in the beginning stages.
beginning stages.
Yes, very much in the beginning stages.
When they actually go to do it, will it be town employees that's doing it?
No.
No, I don't know.
That's
That's
why I
right.
accepted it'll go out for bid.
There's,
And hopefully Commonwealth's putting up money in it, that they're going to be the inspectors on the job. That's what they were told to do. Because one of the big problems with construction is that you don't get the job done that you pay to get done. And they're supposed to provide the inspectors to get that done. Gary?
When was Commonwealth first contacted to get their data provided by the county evaluation?
I would say first year, and maybe even last year.
I would think it was September of last year.
It takes a long time. When you get back to the preliminary approval and everything from the United States Department of Agriculture and how much money they're going to provide, then the engineering report will be done. Right now, it's been the environmental study and preliminary studies and what we'd like to have done. The next council is going to have a lot of decisions to make in regards to. But they don't, at this point in time, they don't really foresee a big increase in the rate because of what we've already paid an increase, and our record keeping now is a little bit ahead of what it was previously. So they feel like they can rely on our figures too.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting of the waterworks.
Motion to adjourn the meeting of the waterworks.
I second that motion.
Those in favor? I'd like to call the order of the meeting of stormwater. I've read the minutes. I have no problem with the minutes for stormwater. I need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve minutes of stormwater.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? Bills, I have no problem with bills. I need a motion to pay electric bill.
Make a motion to pay the bills of the stormwater.
I second that motion.
Favor? Jim, anything new business on the stormwater? Sorry, I skipped you.
The only thing, you know, the man from Payroll, Barry Singleton, came here and was here at the last meeting, and pump number 2 at the Cherry Grove pumping station, which had been a problem for the 4 years I've been here. He says it's completely operational. He says it's mainly lack of maintenance and things in the line that didn't belong in the line. He dug out hoses and different things in the line. He greased the pumps and everything. And now he's gonna come back Wednesday and he's gonna completely clean the sump, and then he's gonna put a sump pump in it, and then he's gonna come back each year in January or February and maintain both pumps. Plus he probably should do the one out at Providence Center also. But, he seems to know what he's doing. We were told that the roof had to come off the building. It's a big expensive deal. So far, we've got this few $1,000s in it. Looks like we're gonna have less than $10,000, and it's gonna be a good piece of equipment. It's gonna, the next time we have a flood event, it's gonna, work properly. While we're talking about the flood events and seep water, there's none of us in town, this town council and the next town council won't have any control over when you have seep water. And when you have seep water, it's illegal to pump it into the wastewater. And that's what causes the flooding on South 7th Street, 6th Street, and 8th Street. Is people are putting seep water into the wastewater. And that's the only time that we have a problem with our wastewater plant, is when all the extra water is added to it. You know, if you got seep water and all the basements have seep water, and from what, 4th Street West, and if you got seep water, all you can do is run it out on the ground. You can't put it in our wastewater. Our bill for our electricity at the wastewater plant last month was over $6,000, and it's normally under $4,000. So, you know, we're just flooding it, and it's causing problems for the people that live down there in South 6th, 7th, and 8th Streets. I think 9th Street's up high enough, they don't get the problems.
They get a little
Down
bit,
south,
but
they
that's
do.
what pushes the seep water out of the sewer.
But we're always gonna have seep water. You know, I've lived here since 1940, and I guarantee you, my parents, we lived on South 6th Street. We had a sump pump, and we had to pump everything out periodically. We had to move the furnace out of the basement, the washer and the dryer out of the basement. Had to get everything up on the main floor. And we, you know, it's a fact of life we live in this here.
Yeah, because that system is a enclosed system, it's pressurized, so that's the only way that water can get in there. Seep water's not gonna get into the pipes. So it's being injected into the system through people's storm drain, or through their drains at their homes, with their sumps. So it's illegal and against the law, and if we have another flood event, we'll be checking for that. So, I did talk to the guy from Payroll, Jim, and he did say that there was a 6-inch hose that got, the problem we was having with that pump was a vibration issue, and what had happened was somehow a piece of 6-inch hose had got wrapped into the propeller, and it's all sealed. He had to take the pump apart to find it, but he did find it, and that is good news. Also, the motors have a oil inside of them. These motors are huge, and they have oil inside of them that need to be changed about every 5 or 6 years. So that's one of the things that he's going to do as well, is change that. That oil helps keep it cool. So anyway, so that's good news. We won't be spending a whole lot of money down there, and that pump is functional. And it's always worked. It's just always had a vibration when we turn it on. We would have to shut it off and then turn it back on until the vibration was gone. But he's also, the other thing is he's going to put in there is the floats so that the pumps will cycle. That'll give us, so one pump's not running all the time, it'll be switching from one to the other. So hopefully that'll take care of all our
How
issues.
can we go back to
Yeah.
Brian and find out what it would cost to put a soft start on
This man says the sump pump will take care of
those? A small amount of
all
water.
amount of water. And he says we don't need to go into the soft start
We don't.
to take care of the big problem.
Okay.
He says that it's designed correctly and it's just not been maintained. That's what he told me.
Okay, I need a motion then to adjourn the meeting for stormwater.
Make a motion to stormwater.
Second that motion.
All in favor? This is where we go into public forum. Any questions? We can do this orderly, please, and raise your hand and state your name. Yes.
I've been getting with Bob and Roger left for about 5-6 weeks, and I know they've been grading water, but I think Roger's been ill or something, because his phone's and message machines are loaded. I finally, about a month or so ago, I finally found out that I got, not only myself as handicapped, but I got two neighbors, one's from the Afghan war, and my neighbor, Darla, which Roger knows very well from school days, she told me, and we're just trying to get something done there. Also, I think it was Chuck, or I don't know if it was Robert last year, mentioned that our curb where the handicap spot is needs to be repaired so water doesn't go down under the water meter. They did enhance the meter that they had to spend 2 or 3 months on last year trying to get it fixed for the freeze that seemed to hit a lot of the valves and make them unworkable or they'd break when you tried to use them. But he mentioned it, and he says, well, the town don't have no money for curbs, but I know it'd be nice if they could build in a new water project a couple of years from now, but I think, yeah, this is making a big, swamp out there. Right beside
What's your address?
I'm at 212 North 6th Street. Darla Wiggins mentioned to me she didn't mind having a handicap spot. She's got a the whole family's under some kind of disability. She used to work for a school system real program. And I don't know about the guy next door, but I didn't know it was my neighbor. I actually called the police because I had a car one morning and he sat there all day and I didn't realize that was my neighbor's Dodge Durango that he is handicapped too, I guess. So I guess I was just trying to, my nurse had a farm like this in town up by Anthony Square. She was like 2 houses from that. And she probably decided, to keep her neighborhood was to put the whole front part of the residence into handicap. She actually had a city policeman once they parking their handicap and she had to call police on him. Just getting a blue valley at times, but it was just, more or less, I never really had much necessity. I always parked my car out the garage, but it's used for service people for oxygen and meals and nursing and all kinds of stuff, so I keep that open there just to make it easy for them to get in and out of there.
Okay. Well,
Oxygen weighs about 150 pounds a tank for a year.
I'll send Bob down tomorrow and have him look at that and put that handicap
He's been
sign.
trying to fix it, I know, but a lot's been against him, and it doesn't work out now, but Roger, I don't think he's been in.
Now, Roger's on vacation till
Oh,
Wednesday.
that's explains that then.
Yeah, he's been out for a week.
Well, thanks for letting me know, Scott. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry, 216, or 212 North 6. Yeah, we'll get somebody over there in the next day or two. Roger will be back on Wednesday.
Okay, well, that probably helped Bob a lot. I know he's been kind of a one-man band there. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. I know it all takes weeds and stuff, it's horrible. On my block, one block alone, I have 6 abandoned properties or something. The kids are getting ready to start walking back up the street for the school bus again, and they can't walk down the sidewalk without going out into the street.
Yes, and we are participating in the blight program. I would have to look to see if any of those homes are on it. But Scott will continue to tag them. And, I had a list of some of the homes that were, my counsel's going to disagree with me here. I probably shouldn't say it in front of him, but we had some on Saturday during our town cleanup that are owned by out-of-state banks, and if somebody wants to go on there, I can't tell you to go on there, but I don't think anybody's gonna show up and tell you to get off their property, but, trim it back. I mean, if somebody calls Scott and says, hey, you're trespassing, then you have to get off their property, but. the
We'd
only
have to
way-
have a victim for that, though.
I'm sorry?
We'd have to have a victim for that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
There's a couple houses as well that have been an ongoing court issue that they are going to trial either later this month or next month. But this is stuff that's been going on for close to a year. But hopefully, now that it's actually going to trial, we can start getting some of these properties right on.
I'm sorry? Beacon, you can go on Beacon and look and see who owns them.
Good luck. I've tried to contact a few banks.
I've called several of them myself, one of them being right across the street here at Clark Gas Station. They're out of Florida. They don't care.
We've sent them tickets.
And they've got thousands of them probably.
We cleaned that Saturday, equally on that very good part.
Can you put a lien on it for?
We cleaned it Saturday, I mean, in the town cleanup, we spent
Hours.
Me, Gary, J.E.
We don't have anything in place right now to put liens on. The question then too is, you know, is the town, of course, everything comes down to money, is the town gonna be, even if we decide to, you know, adopt an ordinance to put liens on properties, you know, if we ultimately then get that back to their tax sale or something to that effect, you know, then the town's gonna be responsible for those, whether it's manpower to keep them, you know, updated, or whether, you know, demolish them or whatever. And as it stands right now, I don't think the town's in a position to have.
We'll get something like that going. I mean,
Well, I've actually contacted the county attorney, to see about if we can enter into some kind of, intergovernmental agreement where they may be able to kind of review or enforce some of those where they may have to mow it, get some of the things accomplished that you guys have been talking about. I just haven't had much of a chance to be able to, contact or at least much correspondence with them enough where we can actually kind of dig into the meat of it.
Anybody else?
Yep. I'm Randy Sullivan. The town's always complaining about how they're low on funds and all this stuff. How come a couple weeks ago they was out patching roads on a Saturday, getting paid time and a half to do that?
Because that was the only time Wabash Valley had asphalt for us.
Wabash Valley has asphalt every day.
And nobody,
Oh, you got
nobody
asphalt.
turned in any overtime on that, it was voluntary.
Okay, well,
And the reason why, Bob had been trying to get asphalt, finally Saturday, we got it. I was out there working in that
I see.
hole, and we got the hole filled, and what we had left on the truck, we went out and patched holes.
all right, I got another question.
He's been in the ground, and y'all know we've got boil orders, on the west side of, Sarah Myers Drive and Thorpe Road. So, you know, we've had a couple breaks out there. We had one up on top of Ferguson Hill. So we haven't had a chance to get back to patching roads, but as soon as we can, we will.
I got another question. On your guys' overtime, it says you guys are only allowed, in the handbook right here, it says you guys are only allowed 42 and a half hours comp time in a year, and then you're supposed to start getting time and a half after that.
And we'll have to,
It's on 3.12 in the handbook. I was just wondering why Bob Couch had 195 hours comp time.
but he's not, has he been paid out on any of that? Yeah, so he's taking it as straight time. It's not, he's
I
not.
mean, well, comp time is time and a half though. And in the thing, it says comp time, it's their time and a half.
Randy?
It has to be, you can't, anything above 40 hours has to be considered time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't normally get involved in payroll issues. That's something Jim takes care of.
We have paid people for comp time. In Bob Couch's case, he has absolutely no money for comp time. There's no appropriated money in the street department except for the part-time guy and for his salary. That's it.
So there's no money appropriated to pay him time and a half? So at the end of the year, if he wants paid up for that 195 hours, you guys don't have to pay him?
No. The only thing the council can do is go to edit money and appropriate money through special appropriations and edit money. Or transfer him to water where you have money for comp time.
Okay, then why did you guys let him?
But he works on the water system too. So.
Yeah, I know,
We only
but I
have
seen him sitting there
3.5
driving all day on the
employees
weekends.
for both water and street. So
Okay.
understand that, you know, with
Yeah, I
3
under-
employees, it's kind of hard to deal with all the water leaks, make sure the potholes.
I understand, but when I see a truck sitting over there for like 8 hours with the garage open,
But what you have to understand is every single day, Becky, coming out here, we have to do water samples, correct?
Correct.
So that's why he's here every day.
all right,
Doing
and
water samples.
ain't it state law that you're not supposed to smoke in any vehicles or any building?
Any building, any building, but
All right,
I
then
don't think vehicles matter.
why does Bob Couch smoke in his garage over there and that new F-450 you guys have? There's an ashtray sitting right there, that's state violation.
I'll check into it.
I could go over and show you where the ashtray is.
How about a violation of him driving the town's truck without permission?
I had permission.
Who gave you permission?
Dave Bartlett told me I was in the truck. And I'm on the insurance, so what's the problem? Yes.
Good.
Your man's got all my information on file. And, okay, speaking about the use of vehicles, why, nobody's supposed to be in a vehicle, right?
What do you-
according to section 5.08, no family members, nothing's supposed to be in the vehicles. Why does Bob's wife riding around in that truck all the time? I got it right here if you want to see the copy.
I got it, for you.
It's 5.08, section B.
It says approval from the police chief or the town council is necessary for any individuals not employed by the town or not a town official to ride in a town-owned vehicle.
Okay. Employees must assign
Once
town
he has
vehicles.
permission from us, he can ride.
Run fast, get fast. There's my time card.
All right. Why did you bring your ashtray over
You
here?
show me where it's unpaid off.
Why did you bring your ashtray over here too? Okay.
So there is a discretion in there that if
Okay, it says employees must assign town vehicles for the purpose of authorized use only, not permitted unauthorized passengers, i.e. family, friends, etc.
you know, keep reading. You're only reading what you want to read. Keep reading.
All right.
It says also, police chief or town council is necessary for any individual not employed by the town or not a town official to ride in a town-owned vehicle.
Okay, so that means anybody can ride in it?
Anybody
So
who
if-
has the council's permission.
Okay. Well, okay,
I
there
mean,
we go.
Scott there's people that ride in the
Okay.
police vehicles.
I got
that are
one more
not.
thing for you.
My boy's he's going through and riding as an intern. He rides with the police department all the time.
Okay, political activity. Nobody's supposed to have anything to do with politics on company time, right? I went over there 2 weeks
Where's
ago.
that at? Is that in there? Or-
Yep, it's 512.
Okay.
I went over there 2 weeks ago to buy my gloves, because I left here. I was accompanied by a cop, because I didn't want to know nothing started. I was walking in, during business hours, I done that. Both Ruth Wilkerson on board stencil in there on the table. And it says in the handbook that it's a strict policy about that.
Anything like this?
No, I don't know
Okay,
anything about it.
you know why I wanted to let you know that he does know? Because he tried to file a police report against me for taking a picture in there.
And you're a damn liar.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you are.
I'll find the cop. I'll find the cop and I'll come to you with the cop. And Mr. Reese called me and told me I need to get up there if you want to file a report.
No.
And I was in there taking a picture.
I didn't know that sign was there, if it was there. You took a picture of the maps, and you're not putting our maps out on the internet.
Okay, guys.
It's
We'll,
over.
hey, we'll investigate it.
Well, there should be something done about this though. I mean, all this stuff combined, you know, keeps adding up, and nothing gets done.
This is the first complaint that's been made, though, they have to investigate it thoroughly to make an appropriate decision.
Okay, well, how come nothing got done to him when he yelled and screamed at me like a piece of trash over there? You know, it's in the handbook about hostile work
Did you
environment.
file a complaint with?
No, I came in, I told Milton, right after it happened, and then I went straight to Jim Man and I told him exactly what happened. And that's as far as it went.
So it's hard for me to act on something I don't have in front of me.
Well, I mean, I figured I was going through the chain of command, telling the chief of police and the treasurer.
He doesn't work for chief of police, he works for me. I need to.
I just figured that would fall under the hostile work environment. Treat somebody.
Anybody else?
Steve Chrissy said.
Or you did.
Yeah.
When there wasn't nobody driving with me and you.
All right.
Anybody else?
Hey, what about the town with the backhoe? I told Scott about it. The backhoe is being used over here, right across the street, lifting a derby car up.
Right.
And there was no safety chains. You know, the graveling bucket wasn't holding the car or nothing. And another person that was here before was complaining that they had their motorcycle towed off their porch, and that was the guy. I think you might have is you got some kind of lawsuit against you guys or for this or?
We're not
No.
aware, are you aware of any lawsuit?
I don't even understand the question.
He's asking that the backhoe was used for personal use and not,
Okay.
and it was also during hours being paid.
And I was nobody ever said nothing to us. Nobody called us. Scott said that he would address you guys
Called you for what? I still don't understand.
about the backhoe being used. I mean, Joe was climbing underneath us.
Okay, hold on. We use that backhoe if anybody in this room or anybody in this town calls
To lift derby cars up?
and asks for us to help them,
Wow.
we will help anybody in this
But
town.
other
And
people-
the day that we stop doing that, I'm done. I'm here to help the citizens. of
But
this
I'm
town.
a business in the town.
We're the
that
taxpayers.
Well, our insurance pays to lift these cars up, and we're not being used. I'm helping this guy over here across the street,
Nobody was on the
doing
deal.
tows for $20, and Williams just to help these guys to keep, their cars flowing. And I'm beaten out of a job just,
I'm not gonna sit here and
for
tell you how to run your
you guys are
business.
beating me out of a job to use my vehicle to help him to not cause him getting squashed.
And if it fell on him, who's responsible for it?
Yeah, who's responsible for it? If he, the property owner?
I'm gonna back up.
insurance. Yep.
Joe's back there.
I'm sorry.
Private property.
Joe's back there.
Here's a question for you, Scott. You got anybody OSHA certified?
No, not that I know of. Not
Put
that
them
I know of.
online, get them OSHA certified, and know what your rules are, what you can do.
Hold on, Shane. Let me finish what I'm saying. The day that I stop helping people, that equipment belongs to the town people. They all pay taxes on it. I will continue to help anybody that calls up there and asks, including the time we went out and pulled you out.
You did not
You did
pull our
not.
truck out.
You know what?
Okay.
20,000-pound truck, like Roger told me, he pulled my 20,000-pound truck out of the ice. I mean, out of a ditch. You can ask any police officer every time they've seen me ever stuck. I've got myself out of it.
Please quit yelling.
Well, I just want to know.
He did not pull our truck out. We paid
didn't?
him $100 to do someone's landscaping. You go to church with Scott. You told us the yard had to be fixed if we wanted to tow for the
That's where you
town.
got stuck in
And
this kind
no,
of
we
stuff.
did
No, I
not.
didn't get stuck.
We didn't go in
I
the
pulled
yard.
that
That
big
was
one.
the
Just like
pursuit.
you asked
The
Roger to
pursuit
help
did it.
him Or help you, we will help Joe.
He didn't help us.
I paid Roger to go out there and fix
Do
that.
landscaping, but we did not get stuck. It was the
On your
pursuit.
video, you said you didn't remember him pulling you out. Now he's paid, now you paid.
We
He
paid
didn't pull
for
me out.
the pursuit. You told us the lady that owns the property.
The county's got it on file where we did the report where the kids was throwing rocks off of I-70.
And
Yeah,
they,
see, hey, you're cutting me out. I want to talk.
I just answered the question.
well, he didn't do anything for
I
us.
told you.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
I don't want video, but Joe signed a waiver that he was not, nobody was responsible if he got hurt. Nobody. And for the lawsuit against West Terre Haute, there is none. Thank you. And I'm
Second of
sorry
all,
about
Joe
that.
loans a lot of tools to this town. Is anybody aware of that?
And I don't loan my volunteer my
Service.
time and service
Nobody
to
said you
the.
didn't.
But I'm sure that you guys would come right out there and pull my rollback out.
If you were stuck and you asked
You
Roger,
would-
he would.
there's no
he would
way.
help you.
You guys can't even plow my street.
Anybody else?
So the police officers can get down my street.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Great.
Yes, Byron.
I want the 3 mobile homes here. On North Shore and straight to the lake.
You have to now go.
Wait, the 2002 mobile home, 2003.
Yes, you have
I
to
went
go.
to the county area planning, and they had to come to you first.
No, you have to go see Paul Mason or the building inspector's office.
Okay.
And they will issue a permit, and then they will make a recommendation to the county.
I made it my yard.
They do have some walls that what you have to have a storage, it has to have, pillars under it. But they've got all that information.
Okay, I do that.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, thanks for not listening to me.